So let's remind ourselves. Genesis chapter 12, God comes to Abraham and delivers these incredible promises, verses 1, 2, and 3, that Abraham essentially is going to have a grand posterity and property, priesthood, we might even say prosperity. So let's also lay out that promise that God gave to Abraham was repeated to Abraham on multiple occasions. And several times, he came to Abraham and tried to reassure Abraham that God would fulfill these promises. When he said to Abraham, if you can count the number of stars, that's how much posterity you'll have. If you can count the grains of sand on the seashore, that's the size of your posterity. Because Abraham had not yet seen the fulfillment of those promises. So God makes these promises to Abraham. We call it the Abrahamic Covenant, and it is God offering unconditional promises to Abraham, things that God will do for Abraham. And it's on account of enormous faith that Abraham had shown God over time. You can see this in the book of Abraham. It's incredible. And so God said, I will give you posterity, land, priesthood, and prosperity. Those blessings continue throughout the generations. And all of us have access to these.
The other thing about that Abrahamic covenant is that the Lord wanted everyone to be a part of that. Everyone to join the house of Israel and be a part of the Abrahamic covenant. And I know that Joseph felt that. He was so eager to welcome everyone into his home, into his family, and into this house of Israel.
That's a beautiful insight. That the gospel is for everybody, and the Abrahamic covenant is for everybody. We think about God's chosen people. What were they chosen to do? They're chosen to serve others, not to be served by God, although he does do that, but to serve others and to share all that God has given.